Hey guys, this is Not Lammers of Invoked 101, and finally doing an Invoked deck profile. Now, the main reason that I haven't done an Invoked deck profile before is because there wasn't anything really different from this deck, from the deck I was playing for a really long time, compared to the, what was it? It was like second or third place Invoked deck that I had posted. This one actually got me third place down at locals, so just doing it again. This is my updated build. I actually haven't my Invoke deck made third place again down at locals, and this is just a new build. And that was the main thing that I didn't want to post, was I didn't want to post a deck that was exactly the same as one I had already posted. Anyway, I'm gonna move some of this stuff out of the way, and we will get right into the updated Invoke deck. Alright, let's move this down. First things first, we're going to start with the main deck and the monsters. Moving everything out of the way. Let's just grab... now this is a 41 card deck, and that's just because I haven't found really anything to take out to make it pure 40. But anyway, first card we run. 3, Alistair the Invoker. He is probably the most important card in the deck. You usually want to find a way to get him on the field, so search your Invocation to make your Fusion monster turn 1. This is kind of a go first deck to a degree, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. Then we run the Wind Witches. We run 3 Ice Spell because she makes your Crystal Wing. 2 Glass Spell because even if you open her, then you can normal summon her and search this one for next turn if you survive, because that's the game we play. And then 1 Glass Spell, or this is Snow Spell, that's Glass Spell. This is the one you never want to see. You always want to search this one off of her, which sounds kind of weird. Alright, that's it for kind of our spellcasters for now. Later, boy. Next up, we run a very small Kaiju engine. Now I put them back in. 2 Gamma Seal, because he's the smallest one. 1 Dogran, and I actually have a hollow version of him from the OTS pack coming, so that's super cool. And then 1 Jizukiru. Don't know why he hasn't been printed in hollow yet. But yeah, there's a little bit more to this, but we'll talk about it when we get to the spells. Anyway, the reason I run these ones is because, I don't know, I like these ones. I felt that these were the best ones to pick. Then we run the hand traps, and our hand traps are, and I'm super excited for this because this is awesome, 1 Ghost Ash because I only have 1. 2 Ghost Ogre because she's great. 1 Max C because he's good. And then lastly, 2 Effect Veilers because he's also good. But yeah, so the reason we're running I would be running Drolls and all that stuff. I would be running 2 Ash and 3 Ogre and 3 Veiler and all that other crazy stuff. And 3 Droll and Gammas. But I don't have all that stuff, so I can't fully do it yet. But this is my hand trap lineup. It is pretty big, and that's fine because this is Invoked, and Invoked doesn't really have a pure build. So yeah. And lastly, we just have a couple one-ofs. 1 is Gofu. Just 1 Gofu because we can only run him at 1, but when we do get him, that's pretty good. Honestly, this is the 1 card I'd be like, yeah, take Gofu out. But I like having him in the deck. And then 1 Spellbook Magician of Prophecy because of the Spellbook engine. And that's it for the monsters. Actually, most of the things are spellcasters, so the Spellbook engine is usually live. Speaking of the Spellbook engine, we run 2 Secrets and 2 Knowledge. If you don't know what the Spellbook engine does, basically it's either use this to search Blue Boy, or it just depends on literally which one you open with. If you open Blue Boy, normal summon Blue Boy, search this, use this to grab that. If you open Blue Boy and this, just use this to discard Blue Boy, and then draw 2. It's basically just draw 2 using Spellbook of Knowledge. Moving into the Invoke stuff, we run... Come here. 3 Magical Meltdown because this is their field spell. It basically searches your Alistair. You don't always want this, but you want it enough to run 3. 2 Invocation because, just in case. Just in case something happens to it. But Invocation is super good to have 2 of. It's fine to have 2 because sometimes they get dead in your graveyard. And then 3 terraforming to search the field spell. I wish they were hollow. That's my one thing, is I just want hollow terraformings. Alright, moving into some of the more generic cards, we have 2 Twin Twister, and then Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, because it's a board wipe, 1 Dark Hole, because it's a board wipe, and 1 Raigeki, because it's a board wipe. I don't know if you noticed, but I really like board wipes. This one's the greatest because you can activate, if you open this and the Wind Witch, you can make the Crystal Wing. Oh no, it still dies, doesn't it? Sure does. Never mind. Don't listen to me. I know what I'm talking about because I was playing last night and I knew that it would die, but my opponent did it. That's why I'm thinking of it. My opponent used the Kaiju Slumber, so I kept the Crystal Wing and got the Kaiju. And then lastly, for our traps, we run Solemn Strike and Solemn Warning, just 2 in 1. Just the best ones in my opinion. That's it for the main deck. Moving into the extra. Extra's a little weird, and I wish I had 3 of this guy, but it's whatever. 2 Makaba. I wish I had a 3rd one. This is the one that people always like winter cherries if they have it. 1 Magil. Because Max C exists. 2 Purgatrio, because we can actually make 2. 1 Cockcheus. I've been forced to make this sometimes, but that's fine. And 2 Raijin. 2 Raijin because he's one of the easier ones to make in the deck. Like him and Makaba are the easy ones to make. And then lastly, 1 Elysium, because we can make this. If you're finding that the extra deck is too tight, you can just take this out. You don't need to play this. I play it because it's neat. Then for the Synchros, 1 Winter Bell because you need her. 1 Clearwing because sometimes you go into this because people will Ghost Ogre that. 1 Crystal Wing because this is your final goal. And 1 Stardust Dragon, because that is also your final goal. Honestly, you could also take out the Stardust, because you can really only make 1 level 8 Synchro. So, and then lastly, after the Synchros, 1 Proxy Dragon, 1 Decode. This is just for Gofu plays, essentially. If you can make the Decode, always make into the Decode. If you can't, go for Proxy Dragon, it's whatever. Like, oh my god, no, that's not what I meant to say. Anyway, side deck, real quick, because my camera's dying. I side another copy of Invocation, so that makes me super happy that I have 3 of those. But yeah, I side 1 copy of Invocation just in case. Then I side my Artifact Engine, if you remember from my last one. I ordered a Sanctum, so this should be a Sanctum. Sanctum's in the mail. Whoa, sorry. But yeah, I side my Artifact Engine just because. And then I side 3 Mistake, because this card is nuts against so many decks. I side 3 and the Band Played On, because this card is also nuts. This card stops a good chunk of decks. And then lastly, I've been thinking about siding this, but 2 Burial. You don't have to do this. I'm just kind of seeing how this works out for me. I'm looking for a card that can actually return like spells and stuff back into the deck from being banished, or like back into the graveyard, something like that. But yeah, anyway, that has been Invoked 101's updated Invoked deck profile. I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed this. Don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe. I'm always looking for new builds for this deck. I'm always looking for new tech choices. So if you got some cool cards to put in here, go ahead, drop it down and below in the comments. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. This has been Nodlammers Invoked 101, and I will see you guys next time.